Beast mode, activate. Alright, welcome to another episode of Bob's Garage. So today's the day, or I should say tonight's the night. I'm going to finish putting the car back together, and I'm really excited about that. This project has taken entirely way too long, but I've gotten to know the ins and outs of the V5 platform, and it sucks. No, I'm kidding. So, what's left on the agenda is to hook up the radiator, the transmission lines, and then fill all the fluids. So, coolant, what else we got? Power steering fluid. I got to top off the transmission fluid because a bunch leaked out when I disconnected the lines. And we're going to try to, depending on time, mock up the mid-pipes. So stay tuned, and welcome back to another episode of Bob's Garage. So here's what we're dealing with tonight. I had borrowed this bad boy jack and these jack stands that lift the car just insanely high from my brother-in-law. So he needs these back for his race car, and so what I'm going to have to do is lower the car and onto just my normal jack stands and bring these back to him tonight. So no big deal. Now before I do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the exhaust. So that's the only thing left to finish up underneath the car, and that is to essentially fabricate the mid pipes. So I went to AutoZone and picked up some of these, and these are 45-degree bends. They're not mandrel bent, so they're crimped or whatever, which I'll probably end up redoing these eventually, but I wanted to learn how to weld. So these were really cheap. I think they were $6 or $7 a piece, and so I think this will be a good little project to teach myself how to weld. If I mess it up, jack it up, whatever, then no big deal. So that's fine. This is just mid-pipe. So I already have the catback and the down pipes. So this is just connected into two. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of a flange or flare out on one end compared to the other. And these basically will fit right inside each other like that. And I wanted to show you underneath here. And before I pull the car off of these awesome jack stands, which give me a lot more room. But okay, so I mentioned it before in the other video, and the lighting's not so good here. But here's basically what we're dealing with. Now these are going to take a little bit of fabrication, a little bit of trimming, cutting, all that good stuff. But with these 245s, it should help me line up with the down pipes. And let's see here. So here's the other one here. Now I realize the lighting's not so hot, and I'll get in here better to show you a better angle once I actually get to the fabrication portion. But basically wanted to see, I wanted to see if this would even work, or if this was feasible, and I think this will be good. Now the reason why I guess this wouldn't work, or there'd be a problem, is yeah, so I'm a little bit further from the downpipe. You can see the downpipe up here. So just these 245s together with no modifications goes past where I need it to go. So what I will do is probably cut these a little bit shorter, probably cut it here, and then this will slide in even further, and then it'll line up more directly with the down pipes. So here's what we're looking at, so you can see. So what's a pain in the butt with this is I'm just buying these little universal pieces and parts from AutoZone. And AutoZone, they only carry, each store it seems only carries one of these elbows per store. So I've already been to 2 different stores, and I got 2 of them. The first store I went to didn't even have any in 2.5, so I'd already bought a couple 2 1/4, And then once I found the 2.5, I was like, boom, boom, son. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get a couple more of those elbows. So I need 4 total. So I'll probably I don't think I'm gonna have time tonight to do the fabrication or the tacking up, but maybe I may. So I want to get everything else put back together. So we'll see if I want to go for the gold here. Maybe I should hit up a couple more stores tonight, get 2 more, and then I could potentially be driving my car to work tomorrow. So the only thing is that's going to slow me down is I'm going to need to get the car off these jack stands and return this jack. So looks like I'm not going to be working on my car until late again because I'm going to be running around. So whatever. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you posted. This is all that's left. So this is my box of parts. I had separated everything into baggies, and you can see there's only about, I would say about 5 or 6 bags of parts left. So, and that's literally just the bolts and stuff to put the front end on, and the trim. Oh, one other thing that I had figured out since yesterday was there was that O-ring that I mentioned yesterday. Here it is. So I found out, or I was told, that it should go on this end of this accordion pipe. So I guess I just gotta jam it in there and make that happen. I did get the clips from the dealer. They're about $5-6 a piece. I got these little metal paper clip looking locking latches. I'll show you guys the part number for those. So I just have to change out the clip down on there, get the accordion hose plugged in, get my bipipes installed, install the accessory belt, and then I guess I can start bolting on the radiator and all that. So to be honest, it's not much left, so stay tuned. Let's do this. Okay, so it's 9:23, and I just finished dropping off the jack and jack stands, and now I finally get to work on the car. So yeah, I drank a bunch of caffeine, and now I'm ready to rock. Beast mode activate. Okay kids, here we go. These are the locking pins for the lower and upper radiator hose. Here's the lower hose. So as you can kind of see here, it's in a locked position, and only one of the sides is actually poking through. So that means only that side would actually lock onto the radiator. You can see the difference between the two from that one compared to the other one. So once you, man, I don't know why this camera never focuses. But what else? So here is where the transmission lines connect into the front radiator piece part. Everything looks clean. I'm assuming this is going to leak some stuff everywhere. This is where the snub mount goes. Over here, this is where this little keep on the upper transmission line screws into. And what else? Here's our coolant temp sensor, and I have the locking pin still in it. And what else? That's about it. So here's the wires and all that. So I'm going to replace this pin, this locking clip, and hope that goes well. I just tightened down all of the charge pipes. So here, bottom of the diverter valves and the throttle body boot on both sides. Triple check that. And I just installed the accessory belt. So looking good. Once I replace that pin, I think we're good, that retaining clip. So stay tuned, and we're getting there. Not much left to do. Okay, so it seems to be the way things always go, but I bought these damn clips, and when I took the old one off, this is the old one here, and set the new one next to it. I mean, the old one's not really deflected or bent, which is what I thought the problem was. So I started looking at it closer, and inside the hose here, there is a, let me get a flashlight. There's a little O-ring, and in front of the O-ring is this little chamfered, I don't know what, and then the pins. So looking more closely at this side here, I realized, so basically I installed the new locking pin, this piece, and it still wasn't working correctly, or it didn't look right. So what I figured out was this piece was like all at an angle and off inside of this pipe here, or hose. So I just need to get this lined up, and then I'll test it out. So hold on. Okay, so here we go. I just pressed in that chamfered ring or circle, and it looks a lot better. So you can see how that ring, I apologize, this camera is not focusing well, but that ring trying to get it to focus. That ring is just inside the metal locking pin. So now when I lock it here like this, you can see how the pin sticks through there, and it also sticks through up there. So top and bottom, which looks like the upper hose now. So we should be good. These are a nice setup. So you just release this locking pin, and once you push the hose onto the radiator, it automatically locks once you have it correctly done. Now, I was having some problems last time I worked in the car, so I'm hoping this was what the issue was, but we'll find out shortly here. So, so now that I got that fixed, I probably did not need to buy new pins, but it was like $11 for 2 of them, so I'm sure I'll use them at some other point, or I could sell them off. What else? Yeah, that's it. So now we're ready to bring the front radiator support and all that into play. And the next fun piece and part will be to try to get these transmission lines into the radiator, which is not too hard, but they have these rubber gasket O-ring seals, which are kind of a bear to push in. So one note, when I mounted the lines on the back of the transmission cooler, which is on the behind the driver's side intercooler, I did use a big C-clamp to push these lines into place. So just to give you an idea, if you come over here, so the lines come into the back here. So I pretty much put a clamp that touched the front of the intercooler, and then touched the back bracket there, and then I screwed it down, and it pulled the lines into place gently. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with the radiator here, but I'll have to come up with some other trick. Someone else told me that they use air chisel, and they vibrate the lines into place. I don't have anything like that, so not quite sure how this is going to go, so we'll see. Okay, so now I'm getting really friggin' pissed. So I'm bolting up these stupid transmission lines into the radiator, which I don't know what the hell was the point. So the upper went fine. I was able to press it in by hand. The lower was a little bit harder to get lined up. I was able to press it in by hand. And then this stupid bastard bolt, which is a 10 millimeter, stripped out. I don't know what kind of pressure these lines are under, but son of a bitch. So I don't even know. I mean, I can't put the whole front clip on because wow. I'm freaking pissed. So inside of this, or underneath this bolt or whatever, it looks like a copper bushing or something that it screws into, and there's just little metal copper shavings all over the bolt when I remove it, and it just spins freely. God damn it. So I don't know, I guess I gotta drill and tap this piece of shit. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm trying to come up with a way to just like clamp it in there or something. Like, I was just gonna take a small metal C-clamp and just bolt it into this fucker and be done, but I don't know. So there it goes, sits and spins. So I don't know what to do, because this is definitely not good. It's not tight. It's definitely not as good as this upper one. It's some bullshit. I don't know. I don't know who came up with this idea, but yeah, you can see it just wiggles. Fuck. Not happy. What a nightmare. Guess at least it's easy to get to. You know, I can undo this bolt, undo that bolt, and pull the whole fucking thing out to drill it and tap it and whatever. But son of a bitch. So I don't know what to do. I don't have a drill. I don't have a tap. Or I have a drill. I don't have a tap. So that's gonna be something new I get to learn, I guess. I don't know. I gotta go get some other bolts, a little bit bigger, something. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. I don't even care. It's always just the most stupid things that slow me down. Like, I'm curious. Does this happen to you guys when you're working on your cars? I mean, like, there was days that I'd spend like an hour on like one bolt. I know I've seen stupid memes online that say like, oh yeah, that moment you realize you've been spending an hour on one bolt. But this stuff just pisses me off. I mean, this is why average people don't work on their own cars, because of stupid shit. Fuck.